Hi, Sue and Sudha here, two sisters who started from zero and ventured into successful careers as makeup artists, made our dreams come true, and want to keep massively inspiring and making a major difference in the lives of women around the world. We've inspired the lives of many women around the world, and we want to do the same for you. If you want to turn your lives around, be the best version of yourself in every area of your life, and run the role of a boss daughter, boss wife, boss mom, boss lady that you've always wanted to be, you've come to the right place. We're here to kick ass, from the good times to the bad times, chasing dreams and sunsets, to chaos, heartbreak, and criticism. We've been through it all and believe so much in living life to the fullest and living one that is purposeful. Our goal is to make sure that you too see all that you're capable of and make your life the one that you've always dreamt of living, while making it also purposeful and meaningful. We're here to inspire you every step of the way and to enable you to grow through every situation, bad or good, to add value to your life and to turn your life around. So let's get to it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 17 of Sit with Sue and Sudha. And today we are bringing to you this week another very interesting topic on judgment. So we're going to be talking about people judging you and how you may have been playing a role as well in the whole process.
So, judging is something that I've been through myself. I have been judged. I have judged other people. And the one thing that I want to get across today would be from a place where we can control what it is that we are doing. And in this particular context is judging. Because I always believe that the only thing that we can control is ourselves and what we choose to say and how we choose to act. We can never control another person. We can never control what they choose to say or how they choose to act. And that is why I think that the first thing that we need to accept and acknowledge is the fact that never put your happiness or your sense of peace based on what other people are saying and doing. All right. So that is one thing that I want to get across first. Like, never base your happiness or how confident or how secure you feel because someone else is passing a judgment or labeling you a certain way. Now, the other thing is that I feel comes back to is your own self-confidence. Now, this was a situation that I was in many years ago as well. And to be honest, I was a pretty sensitive person. When people pass comments on me or people label me or, people judge me, whichever way, physically, emotionally, in any way, right? In any form or in any way, it used to affect me, and oftentimes used to affect me negatively because I would start dwelling on it. I would start thinking about it, and I'd be why are they saying such things? That's not true, And sometimes I almost get really defensive and I just react to whatever judgment that is being passed on to me. Now, this went on for some time. And then there was one particular incident where someone pretty close to me, kept saying things like, you are very sensitive, you're not responsible enough, you're irresponsible, you're too sensitive, you don't really know what you're doing in life, blah, blah, blah. And I was listening to this for quite a while, and for quite a number of time, it used to affect me, and I used to internalize it, and I used to react and defend and say, no, I'm not, and defend the fact that I wasn't all these things. But then something just hit me one day, and I was like, if you know that you are not what someone is judging you for, if you are not what someone is saying you are, then what is the need for you to even react? What is the need for you to get defensive? What is the need for you to even get upset? And that's when it really made a lot of sense to me. And then I was like, because if I'm going to get offended, if I'm going to react, and if I'm going to get upset by someone judging me, it probably means that I myself am actually not confident with certain things about myself. And that is why I feel the need to get upset by something that someone says that is not even true, So I think, you have to sort of come to a place of asking yourself, reminding yourself that who you are and who you are being, and whatever position that you are in right now, is never a situation or never an opportunity to give another person to judge you. Like no one has the right to judge you. And this is something that you need to understand. It's not about them getting it. It's not about someone else getting this or someone else understanding this fact. It's about you understanding that fact. Because once you understand the fact that someone, like no one has the right to judge me because no one knows me better than myself, and you're confident in that and you know who you are, and you will just not react. It's not going to upset you anymore, you know. And that's what has happened along the way. Like today, if anyone says something about me or passes a comment, you know, on social media or in real life, if someone says something that I know is not true, like to be honest, like it doesn't bug me. Sometimes I laugh at it. Sometimes I'm like, cool, that's like an interesting thing, you know. But it it doesn't even, like, it doesn't resonate with me, because if that's something that is not true, it just doesn't affect me, because I'm confident enough to know that that comment or that judgment or that belief that someone else has about me is not true. So always come from a point of taking 100% responsibility for the situation that you're in. And if someone is judging you, or if someone is saying something negative about you, and it triggers you, it makes you feel upset, you get upset about it, you feel like you need to defend and react to what this person is saying, then I think you really need to stop and ask yourself a very important question, which is, why am I reacting? Why is this triggering me? You know, is it because I feel like some part of it is true? Or is it because I'm not confident to just not let this affect me in the first place? If you really think about it, if something is not true and someone is saying it's something about you that's not true, why does it matter? Like, it doesn't matter, because you can never control how people choose to see you, or what people choose to say about you. So that's what, you know, I want to get across. And this has helped me deal with a lot of, you know, things in my life as well. Do just come from a place of confidence, know yourself enough. And when you are in that position, judging, like people judging you, is something that is just not even going to cross your mind. Like there are a lot of people who sometimes ask us, right, like, how do you deal with people judging you? What do you do? Like, what do you say? How do you handle these situations? And for me, it's simple. I don't need to, there's nothing for me to do about it. There's nothing for me to do if someone chooses to judge me, because that's on them. That's not on me. Like, I'm just happy and living my life. And if they're going to actually invest and spend all that energy judging me, and that's not even something true, then, you know, they're just wasting their time, and like that doesn't affect me at all. So I think that is something that is really helpful for us to internalize and accept and acknowledge. Be confident in who you are, and when you are, nothing someone else says or does is going to affect you.
Yeah. Whatever you said about, you know, like being confident in yourself, like that's exactly who you need to be so that judgments don't affect you.
Exactly.
Now, looking at the other, on the other side of it, okay, how often have you caught yourself? Okay, I'm talking to all of you out there. How often have you caught yourselves judging other people? Because just like how you want to be entitled to be who you are, you want to be entitled to do you and just feel like doing whatever you want to do, and how you are entitled to just express yourself and be authentic in who you are, in your feelings, in how you get things done, in who you're responsible for, what you choose to believe or feel in life. Like, just like how you want to be entitled, it's important that all of us realize that it's important also for us to allow others to be entitled to who they want to be. And when I say that, I want to keep one thing in all of your minds. Like, every time you look at a person and you feel like, oh, he's like that, or she's like that, or why, and then we label them. Okay, very often we label people so quickly from how they look, or from 5 minutes of a chat with them.
Right.
And it's so easy for us to say, oh, this person is like this, or this person is this person. I don't like I just get like bad vibes, like, you know. But do you also know that people are often the reflection of who you are in the process? So that is why when it comes to judgment, it always starts from you. Like, when you stop labeling people and judging people,
and you make the effort to get to know them rather than labeling them so quickly or judging them so quickly, people will sense that it's so nice to have people who don't judge each other, you know? And that is how I feel like you actually discover people for who they really are. And then you yourself start believing that, hey, you know what, this world is actually not a very bad place to be after all. Like, there are nice people who exist. Like, we have, like, I've caught myself so many times, way back before, when I used to you know, look at it, because I have worked with so many people, and my profession required me to be, you know, to accept whoever came my way, and I had just had to deal with the whole situation. And so in the beginning, I was always like this. For years ago, I was always like, oh my god, why is this person being so blah blah blah, like, why is this person being so blah blah blah. But then it didn't take me long to finally realize that if I put myself in their shoes, okay, and accept them for who they are, but I express myself in a more loving, non-judgmental way, and I am open to accepting them and inviting them, you know, to feel good, to trust, and to believe that this whole process is such a nice process, whether it's a conversation or whether it's meeting with a client or whether it's bumping into a stranger. I can make that connection, that bond, that relationship, that encounter with that someone a lot more meaningful. And a lot of times, what has come out of it is people have such a good impression of me, and they want to maintain that sort of a relationship. And that is how I have been able to really ace, like, get a lot of good relationships going in my life, and have been able to maintain that sort of relationships. And it's one thing if people judge you and you just know that their energy is not good for you, and you just put them aside because you don't want them to be vibing in your zone, because that's going to deter you from you being you and doing what you have to do. But it's something else when you unknowingly chuck people aside because you label them, or you think they are this and that, and you just feel like, oh, this world doesn't have a lot of good people. Because I feel like a lot of people nowadays, that's the kind of mentality that they're walking through life with. Like, yes, we have people who have betrayed us. If you look at it from this point of view, people who have betrayed you, people who have cheated, people who have maybe lied to you, people who have maybe even stolen from you, like, I don't know. But if you just think that all these bad situations that have happened to you happen for a good reason, and these people have behaved in those ways because God knows what the situation they were being put through, or the kind of emotions that they were going through, like, maybe they don't have the knowledge that you have, you know, their beliefs, their cultural background, everything may have been completely different. And so if you have that sort of an understanding and just accept everything that has happened, and just, if it's not good, stay out of it, but you accept people for who they are and make peace with it, you know, and just, you trust in you and doing you, I think honestly a lot of relationships will be at a very, very much of a better place. And it's like, these things with people, like, at the end of the day, we may lose everything we have, but the only thing that remains is the relationship we have with people. It's that love, it's the connections, those bonds that make life a lot more meaningful. And that is one main reason why also in relationships we get the most emotionally affected, because these are relationships with people. And I think the best way to make those relationships meaningful, and how you have a positive role to play in it, is to just be authentic, be accepting of people, and stop judging. Like, stop judging. Just like how you have gone through things, or may not have gone through yet, I don't know, like, you don't know what stuff people have gone through, and it may take you 10-20 years to find out. Even if you don't find out, like, you just don't know, but God knows. Okay, so just, I feel like, take every relationship, every encounter, every person as they come, and express yourself completely. Be vulnerable and open, and just express yourself. If people accept you, it's great. If they don't, then you kind of know, like, yeah, we are not invited or appreciated or valued, then you know where you stand, and you can just put your limits there. But otherwise, I think there are a lot more ways to just realize how beautiful of a place this world actually is, and the kind of people that you actually do get to meet if you're open to the entire process.
One thing that also came to my mind as we were talking is I've this is something that has resulted in me stopping myself every time I feel like I'm about to judge someone. Like there have been situations where like maybe I've encountered someone like a grab driver or a waiter who maybe is very very rude, and being rude like is something that triggers me very very easily. I usually do not get triggered at all. It's very hard to trigger me, but rudeness is something that triggers me quite fast. So there have been situations where, like I've had a grab driver or I've had a waiter or waitress who was rude to me, and I can feel myself, like starting to think like negatively about this person. However, there have been a few times where I have then, after a while, either through conversation or someone else telling me that, oh, you know what, like that person, like they just lost someone that they love. Or, that person, like they just found out like this bad news, and like just horrible things have happened to them, and that's probably why they reacted the way that they did. And then I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe that I was so quick to say that this person was nasty, or like why is this person working here, like they don't deserve to be working in this place. Like I was so quick to pass a judgment without even knowing this person. Like I met this person like for a minute or two, and I'm already like coming up with these things in my head, and I was like, this is just horrible and I cannot do this. And I think this is something that we also can sort of take away from, which is you never know what someone has gone through, just like what you said. You never know the situation that they are in. So don't be so quick to think or form a judgment about someone, because you just never know what that person might be going through. It always come from a place of goodness. Like I believe in energy, and when you come from a positive energy, when you come from a good place, you are only going to attract that back to you.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
and that attraction, on that note, is not something that comes by magic. Like we don't mean like some magical thing is going to come by when we say attracting, but how this whole thing works is if you respond to that person with a lot more depth and like care, and you genuinely feel like, regardless of how rude they are, but you come from a place of like love, they're gonna feel like, oh my God, like why did I behave like that? Like I am going through this, not them. Like they don't have anything to play in this whole area of my life, and I shouldn't have done that. So in the process, you tend to attract back that sort of goodness from other people. Like people realize things, you allow them to realize things by you being good and coming from a good place at first. And that is how I feel like you are able to actually make a better impact in the world as well, unknowingly, just by you coming from a good place. That is how people realize that there is still goodness in the world, and they change for the better. So yes, on that note, I hope you guys have gotten a lot out of today's topic. I think this is something that we all need to remind ourselves of constantly, every day, every single minute, because we come into contact with people all the time. All right. But just believe that it is a very beautiful world out there. There are good people around, and yeah, people go through a lot of things we don't know, but all we can do is spread love. So we hope you guys enjoyed today's session, and we will see you again next week with a wonderful topic again on episode number 18. So till then, have a great time. We love you.
guys soon. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode and think there's anyone who'd benefit from listening to it, please do leave us a comment below and share it. Hope you enjoyed this session, and we'll see you on our next episode. Have an amazing week ahead.